Hello, we're talking about Hemingway's Hills Like White Elephants today. This story is often anthologized, and for a very good reason. It shows the minimalism that Hemingway is famous for. He's one of the fathers of modernism, and that was a time of experimentation, and they were reacting against the ornate, detailed characters and plot of the Victorian era. And so Hemingway is using his expertise as a reporter for newspapers to translate into fiction as a new style called minimalism. So the story's short, short enough to be a flash fiction short, as they're called today. The characters are not given much of an introduction. We don't know much about them. We have an American and a woman who's traveling with him, so apparently she's not American. She might be British. They're in Spain, and that's about all we know. And then the argument begins at this stopover uh, on their trip. So it's as if we're at the next table overhearing this couple arguing without knowing anything about them. The dialogue moves down the page quickly without a lot of attributive tags saying who's talking. So if you don't pay attention, it's easy to lose track who's saying what. That's all part of minimalism. You get very little descriptive details of the landscape. The one you do get seems to be symbolic in that the hills are like white elephants. So a white elephant is something unwanted. A white elephant sale would be like a garage sale, and this would have been a term Hemingway is familiar with. Also, the hills probably did look like white elephants there in Spain, so it would be an accurate simile of the landscape. This story is also like a puzzle box mystery in that you start to wonder what they're arguing about. And Hemingway is not going to tell you. He's not going to elucidate the theme with a long philosophical paragraph or anything, so you have to guess what is the topic of discussion. They just let the Aryan jig is a quote that gives you a hint, and also the intensity of the discussion over whether to keep this thing, whether they want it or not, and what their life could be like if they have it or don't have it. And so if you have to, you can go online, but maybe on your own you can figure out that the woman is pregnant and they're discussing a possible abortion, which would be illegal at that time period. The man very much wants Jig to have an abortion. He may be married. He's not wanting to have a permanent relationship and a baby with this woman. And he's trying to be gentle in his own way, but insistent on the abortion. Today, it looks very bad. We live in an era where women have more of an equal partnership in relationships, and it looks like he's almost being a bully from our perspective in trying to force this woman into it. She is, on one side, quite willing to do it if that's what he wants. She seems to care for him and is agreeing to go through it, but what she really seems to want is the baby. And she lets out hints that they could have a better life together. They could have everything. Her everything is a baby and a family and a future with this man. But what he wants is for the good times to keep rolling on their trip through Europe, to get more stickers for the suitcases, but nothing to bind them and to bring them down into domestic sphere with a baby. So Hemingway himself lived a life very much like we see in the story. He did run off to Spain with women. He had affairs while he was married. He was married 4 times. He ended up with 3 sons, but had affairs throughout his life and probably found himself in some situations where he might have been having to tell a woman he wanted her to have an abortion. We don't know if this story is any one specific woman, but it's certainly a situation Hemingway probably found himself in with a lifetime of philandering. So that's typical of Hemingway's stories. He's very autobiographical and writes about places he's been and situations that he's been in. So in the 20s and 30s, he was oftentimes going down into Spain and not always with his wife. That's about all I have to say here. Maybe you guys will see other things going on in the story. Thank you.